Yo, what's good? I'm gonna get right to it. Why is it that anytime something happens to somebody black, that the first thing people run to is a conspiracy? The government did this, the government did that. All right, well, I'm gonna follow that path, and then I'm looking for answers for people who say it's a conspiracy. If you believe it's a conspiracy, then that means you believe that the government did it to shut that person up because of what he was gonna bring to the table. And in doing that, wouldn't that cause other people who are following in the same path to not follow in that path? Like, ain't that the reason for them to have killed Nipsey Hussle, R.I.P. Nipsey Hussle, first and foremost? But wouldn't that be the reason for them to kill him? Because they didn't want him to do what he was going to do, but also they wanted to deter anybody else who was thinking of doing the same thing? Now, if that's true, if you feel that way, then why would you spread that narrative? Why would you put it out there? Because in my eyes, you're doing the job of the government. You're spreading it for them to tell other people, look, don't do it. Don't try to help your community out because the government ain't gonna end up killing you, right? What is the point in spreading that? It's a lot of people who is out here helping out their communities, trying to make it better place for anybody. I can go through a list to name a few people who are, but my retort back to the people who are saying it's a conspiracy: what is your next step? What do you plan on doing next? If it's a conspiracy, is that a reason for you to say, well, I'm not gonna do anything because the government might kill me next? Or is your reason to say, don't nobody else do that because you see the government gonna get you too? I don't follow that. I don't think that what Nipsey Hussle was doing was that important to where they was gonna kill him when there's so many others doing the same thing. And then Dr. Sebi, he was coming out with the documentary. Do you think the documentary is still not gonna come out because he died? Do you know David Banner do the same thing? Derek Grace, he do the same thing. The guy with the tattoos on his face. Nick Cannon, even though people might not like Dr. Umar Johnson, he's speaking the same thing. Joe Madison do the same thing. You got T.I., Snoop Dogg, Jay-Z, Meek Mill, just to name a few, who are doing the same thing, promoting, helping out their communities and giving back. So why haven't these people been killed yet? If it was all based on this one movie that was coming out, this documentary, do you know that Dr. Sebi actually beat his case in 1988? He's been talking about it since 88. But most people don't do no research. Their research is coming from memes or what somebody shares on Facebook. When they can walk around with Google in their hand and ask it any questions they want and find out the answers themselves. What he did, he just died in 2016, 2017. He died in 2016. He was still talking about how he was healing people, living healthy, being vegan and things of that nature. He was out doing interviews. So why didn't they kill him in 88 when he beat the case? They waited that long to kill him? Like, that's the type of things that I don't understand about these conspiracy theories that most people put out there. Of course, we have a reason to doubt the government. They do some shady things. They have done some shady things, especially to the black community. But everything is not a conspiracy. Some happened to Bill Cosby. Oh, we want to say Bill Cosby did this and did that. He was about to buy a TV network. Okay? But guess what? He also was drugging women too. So what, we gonna give him a pass just because we think the government did something to him? Then the government after R. Kelly. R. Kelly, we saw the tape a long time ago. That was him on the tape with an underage child. But now the government want him now. Why didn't they get him? Why didn't they get him back then? Who else? It's plenty more people. That Michael Jackson, the government killed him because he had the Beatles catalog. Like, it's a whole lot of things that people have put out there as conspiracies, but they actually have no facts. It's all of where maybe and maybe. Why can't it be that Some people are just evil. They don't care how good you're doing to helping your community or the good you are doing. They just don't like you. We have in the small communities that we know, it's people who hate each other all for something that happened 10 years ago. They still hate them to this day. But for some reason we think just because somebody is doing something positive, they're supposed to make all his enemies lay back and like him too, or feel as though, well, I'm not gonna mess with him no more. They don't care about the positive energy he putting out because they are still on that negative energy. I just had somebody come after my homeboy that's been locked up for 8 years. Out of the blue, he came and said he never liked him and this, and that. Out of the blue, he been locked up for 8 years and this man never said nothing about him, period. But now all of a sudden he said something about him. It's in the towns where I'm from, it's probably about 5 minutes apart, 15 minutes at the most apart, that can't stand each other to this day based on where you're from. So just imagine how it is in Cali, Gang Central, in New York, in bigger cities, Chicago. They don't care about all the positive energy that somebody's putting out. They care about what they got going on at that moment. I'm going over there and killing. Like is the conspiracy theory thing need to be put to rest, because all you're doing is telling other people, look, don't try to help your community or don't try to give back, because if the government see it, they're gonna get you. I can't follow that narrative, and it's a shame that most people willing to put that out there instead of saying, well, damn, that guy is an evil guy. The government might not have nothing to do with it. It could have been some beef that happened a while ago, and the guy just said, well, hey, this is my opportunity, I'm gonna get him. It could have been anything other than a conspiracy. If you feel like I'm wrong, please leave a comment. I seen all the memes and all the every post people have been sharing about how it could be this and how it could be that. Give me your feedback, because I'm somebody who do my own research. I don't go off of what somebody else tell me. And then another narrative that people like to put out there, black on black violence. The black on black violence need to stop. Why is it that only African Americans, the black community, talk about black on black violence? I never hear no white people say white on white violence need to stop, or Mexican on Mexican violence need to stop, or Asian on Asian violence need to stop. It's only black on black violence. But if somebody took the time to do a little bit of research, people kill each other that's in proximity. It don't matter what color you are. Even though it's mostly black people locked up, white people commit the same amount of crimes, if not more, than black people. The same drugs that are getting used in the black community are getting used in the white community. The only difference is we are being targeted by the police force. The white people are not, or different races are not. Even if you look at the body counts, the murders, it's still not the same. We're a smaller minority compared to the majority, which is white people. But that doesn't mean that we are killing just as more than white people are getting killed. No. So we need to stop saying that too, that black on black violence. How about we just say stop violence, period? Please give me your feedback. Tell me how you feel. I'm willing to debate it. Let's discuss it. Have a nice day, and remember, tomorrow starts a new day.